slaying the dude disguised as another dude.
Hello. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Why so serious?
I could crush you like a worm.
Strengthen on us, strengthen on us, strengthen on us. At my signal, unleash hell.
Do or do not. There is no try.
All right. Hey, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Go ahead and let me know on Facebook and YouTube with a thumbs up or, that you can hear me. And I'll get into it. This is going to be a short little episode today because we've rearranged our schedule, but I didn't want to leave anyone hanging out there. So again, I'll type, can you hear me? And then we'll get into the message. Can you? All right. So let's see if you guys can hear me. I see I got some people over on both. So hopefully you guys can hear. Come on. Give me some love. Can you hear? All right, great. Jan can hear me, then anyone can hear me. So I want to we put out a poll and you guys have spoken. We asked everyone, put out a post giving everyone a bunch of options to watch us, what times you wanted. And overwhelmingly 9 p.m. Came across as the strong winner, which is no surprise because people are working during the day and we understand that. We chose 9 for a specific reason. We didn't want to go up against Tucker Carlson because we like watching Tucker. So we chose the 9 o'clock. It allows the West Coast to be able to watch us. And, everyone's, on the East Coast has pretty much got dinner done with. So I want to go over, since I had a few people on here to talk about some, I am officially 1 week in to the Crucible 90 or the 90-day Crucible Challenge. And I'm very happy with my progress. I'm down 7.8 pounds in 7 days. Today's day 8, but my weigh-in is at the beginning of the day. So it's literally 7 days to the day I was down 7.8 pounds. My diet was flawless during this time. Meaning that's what I'm going to live out the rest of this time. Meaning I had some wine on Friday night, as you guys know, who got a little tipsy with us during our 9 o'clock broadcast of BYOB, Christian Warrior Talk, BYOB. And then on Saturday, I had a few glasses with some friends as well. So 9 o'clock is going to be our time for live. Now, that being said, it's going to be on YouTube for you to watch whenever you want or on Facebook whenever you want. And I'm going to start trying to upload and curate everything on Rumble because God knows in this censorship world where we're going to be. But I also will have had you on here and I appreciate your guys' coming up here and watching with me. You're going to always hear me say this, and if it's too much of a pain, it's okay. I understand it. But the best way you guys can help us is not watching on Facebook, but jumping over to YouTube. YouTube, you can be monetized over there better than you can on Facebook. And so, coming on here, if you can swap over to YouTube, that's always best. If it's too much of a problem, I get it. All I care is that you watch. So to recap my week challenge. So I'm down 7.8 pounds. My workouts, I wasn't as consistent as I wanted to be. The Trump rally and all the drama around that really created some issues. Lauren and I are in a quasi, 10-day quarantine. I'm not feeling sick. No one's gotten tested or anything like that, but we were around an awful I was around an awful lot of people. So we haven't had nanny care or anything like that, and we've been kind of laying relatively low. So the workouts could have been better, but I'm still down 7.8 pounds. But the thing that I really want to talk to you about is my walk in faith. So this week, was the second most challenging week I've ever had in my walk of faith. My first being my son's diagnosis with autism. This was a tough one for me. This was a real tough one for me. And, hold on, Lauren's sending me something. I don't know if she's just choosing the worst time to send a file. Yeah, she just chose the worst time to send a file because she doesn't know I'm live. Hey, good morning. Good morning. So anyways, this was a really tough week for me. I mean, I was counting, and again, it may still happen, but it appears right now that that the bad guys are winning, or the bad guys have won this battle, and that really bothers me. I'm sure as it bothers you if you watch this channel. I think there was more people praying for Donald Trump to win and for America from around the world, as by our audience. People from behind the Iron Curtain in Russia, like I said, in Israel and China, everywhere praying for the U.S. And as of right now, it doesn't look like those prayers were answered like we hoped. So I really, really struggled with that. And then I struggled with the frustration and anger that came around with all that. And historically, what I would have done if I would have retreated from God. Yep, exactly, Brett. Good versus evil, and have patience. I would have retreated from God. I would have, gotten absolutely furious and angry and everything else. And I would have, eaten whatever I wanted because that would have been my excuse. And I didn't have any of that. And I didn't have any of that temptation at all, which I think is a testament to, putting Christ first in my deepest challenges. So, I just wanted to share that a little bit. Thanks, Brendan. I believe everything will work out in the end. Obviously, all that, but still, I just was hoping for things to look a little bit drastically, or look a lot drastically different than they do today. And I know there's a lot of people out there hurting. So we're not quitters. We are going to hold the line. We are going to lead into God. And that's what I did different this time. Instead of running away from God, I deliberately pursued him. I got alone time with him. I spent time in the Word. I prayed, and I didn't come in there like, fluffy and everything. I came in there with all my hard questions and all my unbelief, and I prayed with him, and I repented for my sin, and I asked for peace, and I asked for wisdom, and I asked for clarity. Right. And I got a lot of that. So again, it's all about how you deliberately deal with these issues and how you deliberately pursue your relationship with God, how you deliberately pursue your relationship with Lauren. And, on the family side of this week, this was a very stressful week. Like we all know. And Lauren and I had some of the best deep conversations we've ever had because we made time. And even if we were tired and my poor wife is exhausted, even if she was tired, she sat down and we talked about some really challenging stuff, right? We've decided, as some of you may know already, this is a test of faith. I believe that, Robert. And Jenny Lee, evil only wins temporarily, God will reign. Of course, it's unfortunately for the people who suffer during that time, it's not going to be enjoyable. Anyone who's ever seen war and Christians persecuted in reality over in the Middle East and, the beheadings and people being lit on fire and all that stuff, yes, they have their eternal place, but the thought of that happening to my daughter or my wife or whatever is not cool with me. So anyways, I got to stop reading the chat sometimes because I get off my train of thought, but I just found it again. So as far as, other announcements that we have, we're going to be broadcasting 9 p.m. live. So we're going to be doing live again like we did on Friday night at 9 p.m. on Monday and Friday. All right. And on Wednesdays, we're going to be on at 11 with Pastor Ken Graves, the days, the times that he can make it. When he can't, I'm going to do my best to line up a guest as long as there's enough warning there or enough have a heads up for me to do that. Otherwise, we'll just improvise and we'll do a back and forth with you guys with the questions and talking about things. So, and then after it streams live, so on Monday, right, we would be there live streaming. It will premiere. I'll edit it, take out, the imperfections and, the hey, can you hear me and all that other stuff. And I will launch it live on Tuesday at 9, the following day at 9, edited, and I will be there in a premiere, which means we'll be able to chat in the YouTube. And the same thing on Wednesday. On Wednesday, it'll go up that night, the same day at 9, because on Thursday we have our small group. Everybody who's in the Crucible Challenge we have our small group at Wednesday at 8 p.m. where we, roll up our sleeves and get into each other's lives and try to lock shields around one another and really get into the issues that we're all struggling with. And then on Friday, we'll be live at 9, and then we'll premiere on Saturday at 9. And that's how it'll go. That is hard, but as Pastor Ken said yesterday, embrace persecution. Yes, I agree you embrace persecution, but that's awful easy for people to say who've never experienced persecution. When you see terrible things and it's not a movie and it's not just whatever, it's real and you smell it and you taste it because it's in your, you got blood in your mouth and everything else and body parts and the crying and the wailing. It's very different than just a saying. So I understand that we are to embrace it, but there are different types of embrace. There's a warm embrace and then there's a fighting embrace, and I am working that out. I don't have all the answers. I don't plan to. I am a flawed, sinful man, and that's what I think makes our channel special. Is I'm not going to come at you saying something that that I don't necessarily believe or something that I haven't worked through yet. If I haven't worked through it, I'm going to tell you I haven't worked through it, and hopefully we'll work together, and hopefully somebody will drop a comment and all that. I haven't been buried alive. No, that doesn't seem like out of all the things out there, suffocation is something that I don't have a problem with. I've held my breath until I've passed out, so it's not an issue for me. It's the other things. It's the, being burned alive or beheaded, it's not beheaded with a guillotine or with a big sword. It's with a small knife that takes forever. I mean, there's just, people blown to bits. Just that's the standard with the Middle East. And that's what I'm afraid is coming here. So again, I'm just going to go over a couple things. Everybody needs to be prepared for what I believe is going to be coming. I believe that mass shootings and active shooters are going to become commonplace again, except they're going to be politically based. And I think, unfortunately, that, car bombings or pipe bombings or, Boston marathon type events are going to be more common now. I hope that's not the case. I pray that's not the case. But I just don't see particularly how hard they are driving half the country into a corner where they have no voice, they have no way to vent, they have no way to do anything, they have no way to deal with this, that they're only going to they're forcing people to their worst way to deal with this. So, I'm glad you're alive. So, so anyways, it's a pretty dangerous time we're living in, right? But that doesn't mean we should give in to despair. We know how this ends, right? We know how this ends and we know where it goes. But that doesn't mean and again, nobody really knows, there's lots of theories about the rapture, when, where, how, and all those things. And we all await it, right? But we don't know if it's, and we don't know for 100% certainty when that is going to happen. So, and I'll tell you, I don't know if baby B is going to come up with me. And I worry that if I get called up and she's just a child there and I don't know. And again, I don't know if anyone really knows. So prepare like you're going to be here for the rest of your days on this earth, and try to have the most positive effect on those around you that you can. The best way to do that is sharing God's word. And there are a lot of ways to share God's word. This channel is all about making everyone prepared to go forward in life, tactically, prep-wise, spiritually, physically forward as a gateway to talk about Jesus and to, ultimately advance their relationship with God as I work through mine. Exactly, Chris, get trained. God will call upon the warriors. I absolutely agree with that. And there is a big, there's a big part of me that is really struggling with what's going on right now. And we'll talk about that later at 9:00 tonight. So I just wanted to jump on right now to say that we will be live tonight at 9. We'll talk about all this stuff in depth. Lauren will be with me. Baby B will be in bed. And 9:00 is going to be our new time every day, right? Whether we're live talking to you, premiering, except for Wednesday, which at 11:00, I'll be live often with Pastor Ken Graves doing biblical life support. So there you have it. And for those of you who didn't watch Ken's sermon, he had a really good sermon this weekend, but I already texted him and said I had some challenges with it. And, we'll work through those. The great thing about Ken and, is that, the first thing he said is, hey, you don't have to, you can still disagree with me and still be my brother. And that's where we need to be. And I just told him, it's not necessarily that I disagree. I need to work through some things before I'm willing to embrace what he said. All right. No 9 p.m. on Thursdays. Okay. So Thursdays is your day off to go do whatever. On Thursdays, you should be at 9:00. We will still probably be wrapping up our small group. So that is where you can find us on Thursdays. And if you want to join our Bible group, our small support group that we have on our Facebook page, which we're going to be also setting up on MeWe just in case Facebook cancels us. But for now, and it'll be on our website as well. But is to subscribe to our channel, right? You have to be a subscriber or a Parler or a Patreon supporter, right? Facebook's free. Subscribe. You can jump in and you can join us on Thursdays at 8 p.m. to do the small group. So that's how you'll find us. Thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate you guys tuning in for this short time right now. I'll see you at 9:00 tonight live, I hope. And tell a friend. Remember, we're shadow banned. If you guys don't directly share it, or if you don't have a direct relationship with me, no one gets to see this product, and they don't let me advertise most of the time. So have a good one. God bless you. See you tonight.